Hello, everyone. I'm Don Ravi. Welcome to the Art of North America podcast. I'm happy to have you here today. This is our first live, so we're live, baby. And I have a special guest meeting, a wonderful artist from Mexico City. So let's greet her with a warm heart.
Hello.
Hello. How are you, Veronica?
Just fine. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for this invitation. And I
Thank
am happy to know it's the first time. I'm the first one to be yes, the
You're
interviewed.
the first one to go live, exactly, yes. I'm happy to have you here and I'm honored for your presence.
Thank you.
So, I'm putting us back together. Right. So, how are you? I'm really enjoying your artwork. It says a lot to me, and I like that it has a wonderful deepness to it. Can you tell me how you started?
Yes, yes. Well, as you know, I'm a plastic artist. I'm a painter and a sculptor and an online art teacher. I
Hmm.
was born and I currently live in Mexico City in a middle class environment. And I found I had this gift during childhood, and it was a great surprise to me. You know, one thing one thing it's relevant in my childhood is that my mother was a avid reader of literature, so books were all around the house. No, and I enjoyed it. It was she introduced me to literature, since I was a child, and that activity has given me, a sheltering sky through my lifetime.
Was
I
she
love
also a
literature.
painter? Was she also a painter?
Excuse me, I didn't get the question.
Was she also a painter? Was she also an artist?
No, she was not. She was a sweet household, she was a housewife.
Okay,
No,
okay.
but there were a lot of dilettantes in my family. There were musicians. There were not professional artists. No, they were just the dabbers, and so. But there were musician, painters. No, and in those days, they didn't have you know, the delicacy to see their children, the talent in their children.
Yeah.
And so I was raised that way, my talent, or the talent that I showed in childhood was not developed by the adults around at home. No.
But I like that you also dab in a lot of branches of art. It's not only in painting. I also know so that you are sculpting and you also teach others. So that's really wonderful.
Yes, 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 yes. I do all those activities around art. Yes, I love it, and I love it, and also I because of life, because of the life decisions. I studied as an industrial designer, and I hold two master's degrees. In one in education and another one in social responsibility,
Mhm.
so that gives me another scope, to see to
Another
see.
point of view about art.
Yes, 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 it enriches us, very, very much,
Okay.
yes.
I must say that your art comes with a deep meaning. Can you tell me a bit about your creative process?
Yes, yes. Before talking about the creative process, I would like to talk about my art interests. No, that includes sickness, pathological behavior, and forensics. No, I am prone to deformity and trauma as a splendid art topics. No,
Hmm.
and what initially provokes me to make up certain works are articles, photographs, documentary films, information that I discover in books and also in on the internet. No,
You, you
I
also have a few artworks about medical issues, right?
Yes, yes, I have a collection. I divide my work because the art interests are so diverse. I divide my work into collections, and that helps me understand my own work and it also helps to the recreator to understand it, to be more simple the way they can introduce into the art creation circle, of the work. It helps that.
Of course, of course. What what is your creative process? Because each artwork that you do, it has something different, and I can't quite really put my finger on it because it's dabbling a lot of. It's a mixture, so to say.
Yes, it's a mixture, but the main topic that is the covers up all over my work is the manifestations of reality. Reality, it's the thing that the topic that calls my interest. No, in all these collections I'm talking about. No.
And from the point of view of the viewer, or from the point of view of the doer, so to say. So the
Uh,
one who does it,
uh,
or
both ways. It can be both ways. No. I always try to make an empathic exercise to comprehend the motivations of other people. No. Because of my own story, my work is tragic and and it's dramatic. No. So tragedy connects me with the characters that call my interest, or maybe it's an empathic inner movement that binds my life with the with the life of my characters, or
yeah.
perhaps it's the way around. No.
I can fully understand that. It's quite wonderful, and honestly, to say, it also has a different message. You can see it today, and it's telling something, and in a few days, a week later, it has another story. But always seems to impress, I must say.
Oh, thank you. I also try one thing I try to do all the time in my work. It's to create art that has polysemy. That it's polysemic. That has different meanings.
Of course,
So reading the Umberto Eco's oeuvre, that it's called the open artwork or the open work. It's what I try to do. No, I never shot any. I don't give any explanation of my work. I try to the
let
recreator has to make his own interpretation of the work. No,
of
with
course,
its own tools, his education, his way of looking, his cosmovision, all his vision, and that's the great thing, because, well, each person has different ways of interpreting reality.
that's true. That's true. Do you also have other writers or philosophers that you follow and that interact with your creativity, so to say?
No, 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 not at the moment. I am prone to go into Twitch and Discord, to find those groups, but no, I haven't had the time, to explore into that possibility.
I mean other philosophers, so like Platon or Socrates, that can help you paint a bigger picture from what you are trying to expose in your art.
Yes, yes, of course, of course. Merleau-Ponty, for example, the French one, the Frenchman, the Merleau-Ponty, talks about what art is for him,
Mm,
and the openness that has to have the art creation, and what are the way you can recreate an art piece, It's so interesting, philosophy, and the
of course.
philosophers. Yes.
Your art is always very thought provoking. What would you suggest to young artists that are trying to find their style? Because at first, we all know it, it's a little bit hard to find the right niche where you're better at.
Yes, yes, yes. Well, one thing I emphasize to young artists through their path while maturing as creators and mastering the technical skills is to ask themselves, what do they want to say through their art? What are they interested in saying, through their work, or rephrasing? What kind of art are they interested in creating? What is their proposal? And when knowing, and one very important thing, that when knowing all the answers to these questions, I advise them to always be loyal to these art interests, no matter what. No
Mhm.
matter if they don't sell, no matter if the art is not commercial at the marketplace. No, it that will help. That if they do I think if they do this kind of activity that way, they'll find, the success, recognition, money afterwards.
Always have the patience and not give up, right?
And the conviction, the
Of
conviction
course.
that they're going to get there. No, and that's one very important thing. No, and
Always a
not,
matter of time.
excuse me.
It's always a matter of time.
A matter of time and will. No, you have to work on daily basis. No, and just to master, the skills to master painting or sculpting or etc. It's on daily basis that you have to work. No, and
You,
meanwhile that process happens. You're going to begin to know what's your path. No, where are you leading to, or your fate as an artist. No.
you reach an interesting topic about sculpting because I know that you are also a sculptor.
Yes, 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 yes.
Are,
I started. Yes, yes.
are you
I
doing it on a normal basis or do you also go digitally?
No, I haven't tried. Well, I have tried in Blender. I have tried, and I have exercises done in 3D digital environment. But I one of my goals and aims in sculpting is to get to know the process in resin and using silicon. It's a large and it's the learning, to get to know all the
Of course.
technical process. No, but
Of
I,
course.
I love it. I love it, and it's astonishing. I have a piece right now here. Would you like me to show it to you?
Yes,
Look,
of course.
yes, this is a piece that it's called "Woman with a Cleft." Woman with a cleft lip. No.
I think I saw it on Fine Art America. Am I right? You also have a picture
Yes.
up there.
Yes. Right now it's at Fine Art America. It's a
Mhm.
beautiful piece. No, and
Yes.
this woman, I found out her story on the internet, and I began studying it, and making up research about what it's the empathic movement. No, that you have to do to understand the condition of the person that you are working with. No, and this with a lot of respect, with deep respect for her condition. No, so this is one
Was
of
it a
what
sad
the
story?
works. Excuse
Was it
me.
a sad story?
Well, it's a dramatic story, to be born with a cleft lip, that you have, well, and you have to, have surgical help and to fix it up, no. But
Mhm.
meanwhile, before that happens, no, that's the difference. You are different from the rest of the persons that you're around, no, and that marks your personality, I believe, no.
You reached the right point because that's what I wanted to say. It can mess up the personality of a person when she tries to see herself from others' eyes, so other people's eyes, so from other point of view as herself.
Can you rephrase it, please?
I mean that she had a few of fighting to do until she discovered her true self because probably it was a bit hard to do until she find her true self until she discovered the personality that she truly has. All right.
Yes, 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 yes. That's right. That's right. And you have to be, as a creator, working with people. No, and you have to perceive, to unravel, and to be very empathic. No, with about their conditions. No, And
Yes.
with that information, with that experience, a human experience, it's not information just alone. It's not only cognitive, no, but it's also emotional, no. And with all that experience, human experience, you go back to your studio and you begin working, no.
Yeah.
And before that, there's a in the process, there's a very interesting moment when you're trying to do you're doing that research, no, and you are going into the reality of other person, and then something is there opens up, and I think it's extraordinary that shows right
Mhm.
in front of you and with all its might, with all, and then no that and permits you to palpate it, no, just to feel it, not to see it but to palpate it. And with
Yeah.
that experience you go back to your studio to make up the work.
It's a quite informational process. It has a lot of information to do, not only to see it, you are extremely right, but also to touch it and to feel the exposure and the texture of each material. That's
Yes,
quite important.
and to feel it, no, to feel the drama of other people, and by doing that, you also you find your own humanity as creator, no.
Yeah.
Because there's an empathetic, as the encounter between that person or that character, no, and yourself. I would like to talk about something interesting. I have a collection that I called Women, which are I look for women that call my interests. And one of these artworks I have done, it's an homage I made to the five canonical women that were slain by Jack the Ripper two centuries ago in
Hmm.
London, England, no, in 1888. Um, I think historical research, also helps a lot, no, to the artist, no, to read, to be open to the world, to the news of the world, no. And yes, the result of this research was it's an artwork I entitled a woman's chapel. I recall it's a woman, a Whitechapel's woman. Mhm.
You also have it on Fine Art America. Do you
Yes,
also have it on your website?
yes, it is. Yes, all it's symmetrical. All that you find out in Fine Art America, you find it in my website.
Okay. Okay.
Yes.
The website was this one, veronica.mx, right?
Okay, veronica.mx. Yes, and Veronica, our art program. It's my the
Your online course.
yes, that's it. Yes,
Is
where
it is it for painting or is it sculpture also?
it's for drawing, painting, and modeling in clay.
In
Mhm,
clay.
yes,
Okay,
yes,
that's
yes,
nice.
and it's for groups and for business groups and for individuals. Yes.
I know that you own your own business. So Media Internationales. Did I say it right? Media Internationales.
Multimedios integrales.com.
Multimedia. Okay, sorry for butchering. Does
Yes,
it?
that's the educational firm, and
Mhm.
it's an educational and social responsibility firm I developed. I founded in 2009, and
Mhm.
it's working right now. Still is working now, and I
Is
work
it only
projects.
for Mexico or is it international?
Well, I have worked only with enterprises in Mexico that are governmental and also private, and mostly in the financial sector,
Mhm.
banks, Afores, the social security firms that offer their services to the workers, um, and and also the authorities that regulate the financial sector in our country. That's what
Mhm.
I do. Yes, and it's very interesting, very very interesting.
Are you also planning to expand?
To expand.
Yeah,
No, not now, not for the moment. Not going to worldwide with multimedios integrales. Is
yeah.
that your answer? Your question? No, no. It's because my the specialty in financial. It's very focused on Mexico. Now with
Mhm.
all its regulations and with all the context in Mexico, the
Mhm.
inclusion, for example, the financial inclusion in Mexico, it's very different from other countries, no, with all its context, and so that's only I work only in Mexico, those kind of projects.
That's. It seems that you are dabbling in a lot of technique and creativity, so to say. What
Yes.
what other useful techniques do you have? For example, for each type of art, it's everyone finds it his way, so to say.
Yes, I love one thing. I love this question. No, as an artist of art times, I'm open to all techniques. This means that I'm open to all paintings, acrylics, digital painting, colored pencils, 3D digital sculpting, clay and resin sculpting, as we have talked about, photographs of other creators, and stills from documentary videos. No,
Mm.
um, and I do, and besides doing those kind of artworks, I also mix them. No, and they are very interesting as the results I have found. There's
Uh,
a there's a digital artwork that I entitled the Deaf Man Number 7,
mm,
which is for this painting. I first made an acrylic portrait which is called Deaf Man Number 6, and I digitized it and distorted in Photoshop, and I created the character's body in a pink environment. No,
mm.
and it's a very interesting way of constructing. No, using both techniques. The only well the one thing is that that's another interesting topic. When I produce this kind of work, it's digital. It ends up being a digital, but you can sell the prints as we do in Fine Art America,
Right.
but you can also print the work and retouch it. Not retouch it, intervene it. No, as an artist, I have sold already those kind of works.
Printed in 3D, right?
Not in 3D. I produced a file, a Photoshop file
Mm.
that, but people are interested in for me to intervene the work. So I
Mm.
go and print it in Mexico City, and huge is the sizes, around 70 centimeters per side,
Mhm.
and I retouch it. I intervene it. More than retouching it, I intervene it with new brush strokes, brush
You try
strokes.
to improve it.
Yeah, not improving. It's not. It's intervene. No, it's different because it's already done. The work is already done when I print it. But you
Try to change
complete
the
it.
story.
You complete it in another way. No, you complete it physically. No? Yes.
You reach an interesting topic by mixing different mediums in one. A young artist that it's only starting may have blockages or difficulties to do that. What would you suggest?
To
How
to experience. The only way you can find new ways to do art is experiencing. That's the only way. If they are just beginning and they really don't know how to, the only way is to listen. Go to YouTube. In YouTube you find everything. The explanation of life you
that's
find there. But in YouTube, you can find a lot of help from others, no, from other creators and yeah, there's the crafts producers, no. So you can go there. I studied and I know how to manage resin right now and silicon because of learning it through YouTube.
through
Yes.
free online courses, so to say. So free.
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
And besides that, you make the approach whenever they are on live, those artists or those persons that are is streaming, or that you make up the connection, a human connection that is very, very enriching, also. But the point for young artists is to experience. That's the only way,
Learning
to
by doing.
learning by doing things. That's the way.
Another question: how do you find the balance between work and doing art? Okay, so at the moment, both are work. We have to say that.
Yes, yes, both are work.
But so I mean the work that you have for 9 to 5, so to say, and after that, creating the artworks that you are already doing.
Yes, managing is the key word. No, if I wake up very early in the morning. I do my posts that I publish in the morning. No,
Mhm.
it's about social this the art, and also about my education. And afterwards, I begin working in both fields, through the day, all over, up to 9, 10 o'clock at night.
That means that you have a strong connection with all your communities. So on Instagram, on TikTok, how do you manage that? How did you find that connection? Simply through your artwork, or also interacting through the artwork of others?
Both. You have to be open to the others, no, to the in any platform. No, you have to be open, and you have to have sensitivity for the works of others, no, as you look for others to have sensitivity towards your own work, no. And in Instagram and TikTok, I have found, and YouTube, I have found very nice artists and persons, know that you make a good connection, a human connection, with them, no.
Mm.
So it's nice. It's nice to know people in the network.
It seems like you already achieved many beautiful stuff.
Mm.
What's coming next?
Well, I am trying. Well, I see myself in 10 years. I know that's what I'm working with. I to first of all to be a good artist, and to continue making my artwork in the different collections I am making now, and also as a sculptor, as a painter, as a sculptor, also as an online art teacher. To Yeah, and one of my interests is to, as an art teacher, is to offer this art program to other countries, just as in Europe, no, or in Finland, as the Iceland, Norwegian, the Norway. No, I'm prone to German. No, yeah, I would
Is
like to.
is your online course on on English? Did you do it in English?
I do it
Oh,
in both languages, in Spanish and in English. No, and but I found out what I find that in those countries, rich countries, no, they have another perception of art, not as much as in Latin American countries. No, that we artists, we struggle with a population, just in Mexico City, we're 20 million persons, no, 20 million people, no.
that's a lot.
So it's different. No. So that's what I'm trying to do. And one thing in this art program offer, I'm offering, is to work, or to open, to offer also the different painters, Mexican painters,
The possibility to get exposed.
yes, yes. Right now, for example, the ones, the historical ones, no, and also the nowadays, no, talking with my peers to see who would be interested into work with in during this art program. No,
Maybe do another online course with them.
it might be. You never know. Yes, that might be a good possibility.
I think it's a great idea to do that.
Thank you, God. Well, that's
I know that your work is most of the time influenced by Francis Bacon. Can you tell me a bit more?
yes, yes. Well, Francis Bacon. Francis Bacon it's one of the greatest painters in the 20th century. No, it's a very interesting his life. Well, he lived the World War II. No, he's and in one of his studies, I found out, or in one of his artworks, I found out he uses radiographies. That
Hmm.
really amazed me. Amazed me. I thought it was genius. It was genial. you know, just a genius could do that. Incorporate those kind of sources into the work. Yes,
Is that what influenced your artwork, human landscapes?
yes, yes, yes.
So the
Knowing,
digital.
knowing this, no, incorporating this resource in my own work is what I do in that collection, which is called Art and Radiology. But
Yeah.
with the advance, with a certain advantage on my side, because nowadays technological advances in this field produces astonishing medical images, which I use
Oh
as
yeah.
resources. No, yes, yes, I do that, and it's very interesting. In that collection, using those medical those medical studies, because they are from genderless anonymous persons, sick persons. No, so it's a Jane Doe or a John Doe with the body which I'm working with. No, and I found them in anatomical or radiological the books, and also I find them on the internet. No,
Mhm.
so it's very interesting. No, to make up that work. No,
I,
that's
I still have a question. Can you tell me a bit more about your collection, The Relentless?
the relentless. Yes, yes, yes. Okay. In this collection, I picture people that have social malfunctions and disorders who drive them to commit crime.
Mm.
The tragedy of their lives and the paths in which they have crossed the lives of others are elements that compel me to create this series.
Mm.
Um, in this collection, my work, I would like to say that my work is not an apology to crime. No, it's just my interpretation of a social phenomenon. And one thing that I would like to say is that I have also included in this collection the manhunters. The manhunters, which are the law enforcement professionals who pursue these dangerous men or women. No, I think they too are relentless. So those who fight monsters, because they are monsters, are also part of this collection. Because I'm going to rephrase Friedrich Nietzsche. No, they gaze long enough into the abyss, and the abyss gazes back on them. No, and that causes them a lot of emotional harm to those people. No, to the enforcement professionals. No, the law enforcement professionals. No.
That's perfectly true. Because if you stay in a problem too long, then you get lost in it. That's true. That's all it seems to be the.
Yes, 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 yes. They work. Right now, I just finished reading Truman Capote's In Cold Blood. And, Al Dewey, who is the chief investigator of the case of that is the assassination, the murder of in United States,
Oh no.
was very, very. Was a very tough task he had to manage and deal with.
Can you say the last part again? Because I think the internet went down for a second.
Uh, I was sharing with you and your audience that I just finished the book from Truman Capote that it's called In Cold Blood,
Mm-hmm.
and this book is very interesting because it depicts the life and the destruction that two people murder so did to a family
Yeah.
for members of a family in Kansas in the United States. No? And so and it gets to this book lets you penetrate into their psychology, into their emotional state of those persons, and you see they don't have it. They are not very lucky guys, no, since they're the day they were born, no, but
Mm,
their decisions are wild and destructive, no, and well, they ended up, no, in the death row, no.
mm.
But it's a very interesting book to read, no.
What I find interesting is that the choice everyone has to make in one point of life. It's it's
Yes,
always so you want to go deeper into the darkness or you want to go to the light. It's something
that
like
you've said it. You've said it. It's decision making, no. Also, you have all the background that it's coming with you. No parents or irresponsible parents, no education, no chances, no opportunities, no in life. But
yes.
that doesn't uh, gives
That
you the
doesn't say
right.
what it says what you learned so far.
Yes, yes, yes. You're free of will, no, and you decide whatever you want to do from your life, no. I have another in this series called The Relentless. I have another artwork that it's called Robert Sprout, the Birdman of Alcatraz. No,
Okay.
it's very interesting. I've been in Alcatraz. I've been in several times on my lifetime, during my lifetime, and it's very, very impressive. All the tiny cells these men stayed for years, 23 hours per day in those cells. No, but that prison, I think that prison meant to broke those men. No, it was if in its time, Alcatraz was the most prison, well, the prison where the most dangerous men of their time were kept in. No, so Al Capone was in the Birdman of Alcatraz. No, was also a murderer. No, and so forth. So many others. No, the Machine Gun Kelly. The gangsters. No, from 1920, 1940. No, all those people, very dangerous guys. No, they held them, in that horrible place, that very, very dramatic place. Have you ever been to Alcatraz, to the prison of Alcatraz? I think you can't hear me. I think we can't. Okay.
Sorry, the
So
internet the internet went down again.
no man, doesn't matter.
Yeah. So I thank you for your time. Do you wish to say something to your audience that is watching?
Oh, thank you. No, thank you so much. Thank you for watching. No, thank you for listening. And it would be great if you visit my website, my Fine Art America page. My patrons, I have a blog at patrons at my patrons feed that it's called patreon.com/Veronica Huacuja. No? And there's free art posts for everyone. No. And I
Okay.
thank you very much, Don, for this opportunity you're giving me.
I thank you too for your time. It was a wonderful talk. Sorry for the disconnecting of the internet. Yeah, it happens.
It happens.
Thank you once again, and I hope that you're having a wonderful day and a wonderful week further.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you and your audience too, Don.
Thank you. See you.
See you.